Hi there, a very good morning. It's the start of a new week, but in our old avatar, here we are on Sports Today to bring you the morning wrap. That's, as you know, how we like to begin our day and our week. So let's begin without wasting any more time. Very quickly, give you the 10 top stories from the world of sports that you need to really know about. Let's start with what happened last night at the US Open final. You were looking at a very good contest between Carlos Alcaraz, who hadn't dropped a single set in the run-up to the final, and then there was Yannick Sinner, who looked very good as well. But guess what? We now have a world number one. Wasn't the most exciting contest, if you ask me. Lasted for 4 sets. That's all it took for Carlos Alcaraz to go ahead and win at the age of 22, his 6th Grand Slam title. Hard courts, when you look at the numbers, it looked like Yannick Sinner will be the man to go ahead and win the US Open as well, but that wasn't to be the case. Such flamboyance that we saw. Looking at the scoreline as well, if you see 6-4, 3-6, 6-2, 6-1, I think that's how it ended. Just tells you how much Carlos Alcaraz went ahead and dominated. But that's just one of the few stories that we have for you. Let's go ahead and tell you something else that happened in the run-up to the final. In fact, just minutes before the final had to begin, there was a delay. There was a 30-minute long delay in the US Open final, and that was because of the US President. US President Donald Trump was supposed to be there, and he was there eventually, but because of his entire security arrangement, there was a delay in the US Open final, as much as a 30-minute long delay. In fact, when he came into the stadium, the time that he entered, there were boos ringing around the stadium, around the Alcaraz stadium, because fans had to queue up for a long time and they weren't particularly happy with the whole delay. So those were the first 2 stories from the world of tennis. But let's go ahead and talk some cricket at the moment. There is Shreyas Iyer that we've heard from now for the very first time after he was snubbed from the Indian team. There was a lot of talk about Iyer being included in the Asia Cup squad, but that wasn't to be the case, and he said that it is extremely frustrating when you know that you deserve to be in the Indian team but you don't get selected. So that's the first comment that we've heard from him since the Asia Cup squad was announced. Sticking with cricket, Gayle has given his 2 cents on somebody he shared the dressing room with in Sarfaraz Khan. He said that he sees no problem why Sarfaraz should not be playing test cricket. He thinks he's got the game, he's got the numbers as well, and he says most importantly, weight is not the concern. In fact, he's gone ahead and shed those 18 kilos as well, as we know as far as Sarfaraz is concerned. So Gayle says there is no worry with regards to Sarfaraz Khan and his weight. Moving forward, Ravi Shastri has given us his thoughts on the India 11, and it's the 2 players that everyone's talking about in Sanju Samson and Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill, now you know, is the vice captain. I'll come to that in just a bit, but hear it as far as Sanju Samson is concerned. This is what he said, because there's a bit of a toss-up between the two. There are many theories doing the rounds that it'll be Sanju Samson who will probably have to be displaced, but Shastri feels that you should let Sanju Samson be alone. Don't touch Sanju Samson where he is. He feels he's his destructive best when he's batting in the top 3, and so for that reason he should not be touched at all. How you fit as a team management, and that's what he's told us next as well. He says how the team management and goes ahead fits in a Shubman Gill is something that they will have to go ahead and see, but Sanju Samson should not be touched, and even a Shubman Gill, he says, will find it difficult to displace Sanju Samson given the thunderous form that he is in. Going forward, Divya Deshmukh, who recently became a grandmaster, has once again made waves in the world of chess. She's gone ahead and beaten Africa's number 1. Now that's a big feat for somebody ranked 95 in the world. So many places above Divya Deshmukh. I think 666 places above her. She's gone ahead and beaten Africa number 1. Shardul Thakur has spoken about the other bit. Just going back to cricket, Shardul Thakur has also weighed in on workload management. He says there is a lot of conversation about workload management, but nobody asks the players really. Nobody asks us as players as to how our bodies are feeling, as to how we are feeling. Non-stop cricket is what some of us play at times, but that question never comes. And of course, it comes in the backdrop of him playing the Duleep Trophy. On the sidelines of that is where he made these comments. Thomas Tuchel, I'm now taking you to football now. There are friendlies that we saw happen in over the course of the last couple of days, and England were also seen in action. The one thing with regards to England that Thomas Tuchel, the new head coach, wants is that they increase the number of long balls and long throws. Just about 4% long throws that England have at the moment. Going forward, this is something he wants to improve. In fact, if memory serves me right, in the era of Gareth Southgate, that percentage was around 8%, if I'm not wrong. But I'll get back to you on that one at some point in the future. And lastly, for those of you who missed it, it was a historic day for the Indian hockey team as they went ahead and ended an 8-year drought for the Asia Cup. That title is there thanks to an emphatic win from the Indian hockey team, beating Korea 4-1 at home. It's the final that took place in Rajgir. Lots of fans had turned up, and those are celebrations to be seen as well. We've put those visuals on Sports Today along with a couple of interviews as well that we managed to get. Do go ahead and see all of those videos, and it's just the start of the day. Make sure that you come back and watch other stuff as well that we will be presenting you as the day wears on. Thank you so much.